covering every county. This is your statewide newscast. Arkansas Today.
Good Monday afternoon, and thanks for joining us for Arkansas Today. I'm Mallory Brooks. Topping our headlines, we are following breaking news at this hour as former state senator Jeremy Hutchinson pleaded guilty in federal court today to accepting bribes in connection with a multi-district investigation spanning across Missouri and Arkansas. Hutchinson pleaded guilty to his role in a multi-million-dollar public corruption scheme that involved embezzlement, bribes, and illegal campaign contributions for elected public officials. The former senator could face up to 5 years in prison and up to $250,000 in fines. This morning, police found a missing 4-year-old girl and her mother. Kinsley Eatman is 4 and went missing from Ward on Sunday. Police say she was forced away from her temporary guardian's home by her mom. Police first believed she was on her way to New Mexico or Alabama. Just before 6 o'clock this morning, Torres's car was found at a house in Beebe. The White County Sheriff's Office arrested Torres, and the 4-year-old has been reunited with her guardian. Billionaire financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein is back behind bars today, preparing to face a judge on new federal charges involving what sources say are dozens of victims. He allegedly paid girls as young as 14 for massages and sex acts and for recruiting other girls as well. Now he faces charges of sex trafficking and conspiracy to traffic minors for sex. NBC's Stephanie Gosk has more.
Billionaire hedge fund manager Jeffrey Epstein, first publicly accused of sexual assault against minors more than a decade ago, is back in custody this morning and will be charged with federal sex crimes for the first time. The counts will include sex trafficking and conspiracy to traffic minors for sex, according to a law enforcement official. The 66-year-old financier, who counts among his powerful friends President Trump, former President Clinton, and Britain's Prince Andrew, was arrested Saturday after he flew in from Paris. Authorities also raided Epstein's Manhattan home. The new charges come on the heels of a re-examination of the case by the Miami Herald. Epstein allegedly inviting high school girls to his Palm Beach mansion.
These young girls who were 13, 14, and 15 thought essentially that they were going to be going there to get paid to give him a massage, and instead what he did was he pressed them further and further each time to have sexual and intimate relations.
Several of those then teen girls also spoke to the Miami Herald. They accused Epstein of giving them money for massages, which some say quickly escalated into molestation.
It ended with sexual abuse and intercourse, and then a pat on the back. You've done a really good job. Here's $200.
In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida to state charges of soliciting and procuring a minor for prostitution in exchange for avoiding more serious federal charges. He served just 13 months in jail. The plea deal, widely criticized as too lenient, worked out by Epstein's attorneys and agreed to by former Miami U.S. Attorney Alexander Acosta, who is now President Trump's labor secretary. Acosta did not respond to a request for comment, but has previously defended the deal, saying it was the best possible based on the evidence at the time.
And that was Stephanie Gosk reporting. Taking a look at other headlines, these charges, by the way, do not mean the investigation is over, and so far his lawyer has declined to comment. Well, a toxic algae bloom is so harmful, it has shut down all 21 beaches in Mississippi. The Mississippi Department of Environmental Quality says a blue-green harmful algae bloom has made the water unsafe for swimmers. The bloom comes following the 4th of July holiday, which is peak for tourism revenue. One business owner says he barely made $150 on July 4th at one of his locations.
Our business, it's literally off almost 100%. We're down here trying.
Officials warn the toxic algae can cause rashes, stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting. People are advised to avoid contact with the water and not consume anything from the water until further notice. Netflix is cutting back on lighting up. All of its new shows with TV-14 ratings or lower and films lower than PG-13 ratings will not feature cigarettes or e-cigarettes. That's according to a spokesperson for the company. This comes after a report that blasted Netflix show Stranger Things, which has featured tobacco in every episode. The policy will not affect existing shows, including Stranger Things. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, smoking on screen often causes young viewers to try smoking themselves. The White House hopes a new legal team will be able to overcome Supreme Court objections to a citizenship question on the census. With new census forms still up in the air, the Justice Department has big changes, creating a new legal team to again push the president's argument that next year's census form should include a citizenship question. Yesterday, the president returned to Washington from his holiday weekend and kept up the drumbeat.
Spending $15 to $20 billion on a census. They're asking everything except, are you a citizen of the United States? How ridiculous is that?
But critics allege the administration is trying to suppress the count, part of the president's broader crackdown on illegal immigration. Heather Mills, ex-wife of Paul McCartney, and her sister have received an apology and a settlement from a now defunct British tabloid. Mills and her sister sued Rupert Murdoch's news group newspapers over alleged hacking of their phones. She called it the highest media libel settlement in British legal history. There were 90 other alleged victims in that class action lawsuit. The European Union today calling on Tehran to stop and reverse any action that goes against a landmark 2015 nuclear deal with the Islamic Republic following Iran's announcement on enriching uranium above internationally approved levels. The comment came after Iran said yesterday they would shortly boost uranium enrichment above the cap set in the 2015 nuclear deal. Well, let's take a look back at this day in history. On this day in 1853, an American expedition led by Commodore Matthew Perry arrives in what's now Tokyo Bay, Japan. It's the first step of a U.S. mission that establishes diplomatic and trade relations with Japan, isolated from the West for more than 2 centuries. And on this day in 1839, John D. Rockefeller, founder of Standard Oil, which dominated the oil industry into the early 20th century,